In the 13th century, a nomadic chieftain rose from the windswept plains of Mongolia to become one of the most powerful figures in human history. His name? Genghis Khan. But his legacy is not just one of brutal conquest. It's a story of unity, innovation, and an empire that reshaped the world. Before he was the feared conqueror, Genghis Khan was simply a man named Temujin, born into the Borjigin clan in 1162. His early life was marked by hardship, abandoned by allies, orphaned by the murder of his father, and living as an outcast with his family. Yet, from these humble beginnings, he would forge the strength and resilience that would later make him invincible. It was during these challenging years that Temujin learned to navigate the complex web of alliances and betrayals that defined Mongolian tribal politics. These experiences taught him a critical lesson. Loyalty was paramount, but treachery was always lurking. By the time he united the Mongol tribes in 1206, Temujin had already shown his brilliance as a strategist and leader. Declaring himself Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler, he turned his attention beyond Mongolia. His ambition was nothing short of world domination. Genghis Khan's military campaigns were both swift and brutal. From China to Persia, from Russia to the Middle East, no region was safe from the Mongol hordes. His army moved with unprecedented speed, using tactics that left their enemies helpless. But Genghis Khan wasn't just a barbaric conqueror. He was a visionary military leader. His army was highly disciplined and employed innovative strategies like the famous feigned retreat that confused and overwhelmed enemies. In battle, the Mongols displayed ruthlessness, but Genghis Khan also valued efficiency. He used psychological warfare to intimidate enemies into surrendering without a fight. When cities refused, they faced total annihilation. It was a tactic designed to minimize future resistance and save resources. Yet, Genghis Khan's legacy isn't defined by violence alone. Once the battles ended, his focus shifted toward governance. The Mongol Empire became the largest contiguous empire in history, and Genghis Khan understood that ruling such a vast territory required more than brute force. He introduced a legal system known as the Yasa, a code that applied to every corner of his empire, regardless of tribal background. It ensured order, meritocracy, and religious freedom. This was revolutionary in a world still defined by feudal loyalties and sectarian conflict. His empire also facilitated trade on an unprecedented scale. Under his rule, the Silk Road flourished, connecting East and West and enabling the exchange of goods, ideas, and technology. This cultural diffusion helped ignite the European Renaissance centuries later. Genghis Khan's legacy as an innovator extended beyond warfare and trade. He established a sophisticated communication system across his empire, known as the Yam, a vast network of relay stations that allowed messages to travel faster than ever before. In many ways, this system was the forerunner to modern postal services. It ensured that information flowed freely, enabling the efficient management of his sprawling empire. He was also a pioneer of religious tolerance, a rarity in his time. While Genghis Khan himself followed the shamanistic traditions of his people, he welcomed and protected Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, and Taoists, allowing them to practice their faiths freely across his realm. But Genghis Khan's legacy is not without controversy. His conquests resulted in the deaths of millions. Entire cities were wiped from the map, and his campaigns left an indelible mark on the lands he invaded. Historians estimate that his campaigns resulted in the deaths of 40 million people, around 10% of the world's population at the time. His tactics were as ruthless as they were effective, earning him a reputation as both a military genius and a tyrant. Nearly 800 years after his death, Genghis Khan remains a towering figure in history. His influence can be seen in the borders of modern nations, in the spread of cultures, and in the blending of East and West. In Mongolia, he is revered as a founding father, a symbol of national pride and resilience. His face adorns the currency, and his name is synonymous with strength and unity. Globally, historians continue to debate his legacy. Was he a savage conqueror or a visionary leader? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. Genghis Khan's story is a paradox. He united the world through conquest and left a legacy of both destruction and innovation. His empire collapsed after his death, but the impact of his rule remains etched in the fabric of our global history. Today, we are left with a question. How should we remember him? As the man who reshaped the world through fear, or the leader who built an empire that laid the foundation for our interconnected global civilization? This is the legacy of Genghis Khan, one that continues to evolve centuries after his passing.